Hi, I'm Angelo Costanza and you're watching Purebred Reds Adelaide United Fan TV.
Standing here with Ben after what is probably the craziest game I've ever seen at Coopers Stadium. Ben, after such an abysmal first half, Ken also gets sent off within 10 minutes. We're 3-0 down at half time, or 3-1, sorry. I mean, where was your head at that moment compared to where you are now? We've ended up winning 4-3, obviously.
Look, when he got sent off in the 6th minute, you just thought, just utter disgust and just so angry. But then, you know, you just got to keep believing. But then, you know, Izzy scored that goal just before half time, and you thought, you know, we can do this. And then the second half, I mean, you know, I've been here since day one. I've seen some amazing games at Hallmark Stadium, but that was probably one of the best I've ever seen. After our final win, that's probably number 2.
Where do you think that extra burst of energy came from? Because, I mean, obviously Raw went down to 9 men, but where do you think the reserves came from our players? Because, I mean, even though we did claw it back to 3-all in stoppage time there, you started to feel like we were just so spent. How do you think it all just came about in the end? I mean, was it just playing on sheer emotion? How did it all come about for you?
Yeah, emotion always plays the most part in football. I think Kurtz has got this team believing, no matter what they're down to or, you know, how far they are down, they can still win. And we know we've got the quality. The only thing's been our finishing, and they just, you know, you see last week with Blackwood scoring the winner, and then it's just been, you know, we've got the belief that we can win no matter what, and they showed that tonight. It was amazing. And I think the crowd got right around them. The Red Army got everyone, you know, up and about, and it was just, yeah, awesome feeling.
Do you think, given that we ended up winning this game tonight, there's going to be a lot less pressure on Tomas when he does come in? Because had we not have come away with 3 points tonight, you feel like, you know, Ken also being sent off, Thomason would get thrown straight in, presumably. Lots of pressure given that we've had a deficiency up front this season. Do you think this is really going to allow him to just relax when he comes in, whether it's next week or in the near future?
Oh, look, it's going to be hard for him, a player coming in January, at the end of January, you know, a new club, new culture, new country. You know, he's going to have a lot of pressure. I think the fans just need to realise that it's not that easy to come, you know.
Yeah.
And they just need to be patient with him. But I think tonight he'll be watching that goal and, you know, what have I got into? What a club. You know, what a belief, what a fan base. So, you know, hopefully that gives him some confidence. But, you know, everyone just needs to be patient and just, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt and yeah, see how it goes.
Just want to finish off by asking you, I don't want to put it down on things, but I would argue that since Melbourne victory, the 2-0 win here, we haven't really seen a great performance from the team. Now, obviously tonight, you know, you got to take emotion out of it and actually analyse the game. If they didn't go down to 9 men, particularly in that first half, well, a lot of bad individual performances. Are you worried with the way that we're playing at the moment, particularly how we're starting games off? Because I probably don't need to remind you how bad the first half last week was, and even though we did beat the Wanderers on the road, drew to Perth, you know, performances have not been great, particularly first halves. Does this worry you going into Melbourne City next week?
Oh, look, inconsistency has been a problem, especially, you know, the final shot, the final ball. You know, we've done everything right. I think we've defended okay. Our midfield's been elite. Maybe, but confidence is a massive thing in football. You know, it's just huge. I mean, the first 6 minutes we looked amazing, having that 2 up front, the 4-4-2 setup. So I'm not too worried. I think the last 2 games give him a lot of confidence, and it's a massive thing in football. You know, people don't realise how big that thing is. So I think we'll be right.
Ben, very well spoken tonight after such a euphoric experience. We look forward to speaking to you again sometime soon throughout the rest of the season. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Standing here with Elio after the amazing 4-3 victory over Brisbane Roar tonight. Elio, pretty poor first half. Did you think there was any way in hell that this could be a reality at all, that we end up getting 3 points after this game in such a ridiculous fashion? What a game!
I gave him no chance. In fact, we were even considering going home early, and I'm glad that we didn't take that option, because we would have missed out probably the best game that I've ever been to. No doubt, in fact. I think that was probably the best game.
Who stood out for you tonight? Obviously, the likes of Craig Goodwin, Miljovic getting the winner. taking aside that first half where we didn't seem to be playing particularly well at all, who do you think really stood out for the Reds tonight?
I thought Blackwood did pretty well, particularly towards the last 20 minutes. He got into good spaces and he produced the goods. So yeah, apart from Goodwin and the normal cohorts, Blackwood probably stood out.
Just thinking back a long time back historically, can you think of any games here that really we can compare to tonight at all? Going back into the Champions League.
I've been to a few games here, including the FFA Cup final, and even though the FFA Cup final was pretty special, tonight I think it was probably a lot better than the FFA Cup final, even though there wasn't any trophy on show for tonight.
He made a few changes tonight. Costanza came back in. Do you think that we should make any changes going to the City game now, next weekend, or does he keep it the way he started it tonight, obviously excluding Ken Ilso, who got a red card?
Well, on the basis of what I saw tonight, I reckon it's a very balanced team, particularly with the fact that we went down 10 men with 80 minutes to play, and the way that we really extricated ourselves, and to come out with a 4-3 win, being down 3-0 just before half time. Why would you change anything?
Armiento came on to make just his second appearance ever for Adelaide United. Got about 10 minutes. Overcooked a cross with one of his first touches, and people started getting on his back. But then I personally felt like he really turned it on. Are you excited about what he can offer going forward, young Carlo Armiento?
Good luck! Well, he's a youngster, and he's got a lot to learn. So he'll probably prove people wrong.
No worries. Elio, thanks so much for speaking to us tonight.
Thank you.
Cheers. Here with Reese after the amazing 4-3 win against Brisbane Roar. Huge comeback. Reese, I know for a fact that you've been coming for years and years. It didn't look good there for a while. It was pretty hot tonight, and at half time, being 3-1 down with a man down, I dare say most people thought that coming back and getting some kind of result, let alone all 3 points, was not achievable. You were there, you saw the whole thing. Just talk us through your emotions firstly, and then what you think might have inspired the comeback.
It was grim between you, me, and Tim here behind the camera. It was utterly desolate. Quick shout out to our friend George, who left just before half time. Okay. No, I don't know where the flick switched, but I think Azai's, he doesn't bang that free kick. We don't do it. Baby call me crazy, but I think he knew when it went in. He was on the badge. I think he knew.
I just want to get your thoughts going forward. We signed a new striker. Ken also gets a red card tonight. Do you think now you throw him in and you just rely on him being able to flourish? There's going to be certainly a lot of momentum going into our game against Melbourne City next weekend. Do you have some kind of optimism that this might not just be a stopgap of a signing, and that Geordie Thomason really might have a lot to offer?
Yeah, I wouldn't throw him straight in. Blackwood's 2-2 now. Yeah, could have probably had 3 tonight, even maybe 4 if things went his way, but it's pretty harsh to drop someone 2 from 2. But yeah, as you said, Ilso out, so maybe off the bench. I think that would be perfect.
You're a Manchester City fan, you watch a lot of football outside of the A-League. I just want to ask you, forget the A-League, is this one of the craziest games you've ever seen in your entire life?
Yeah, absolutely stunning. You just never know with football. You think you've seen it all, and then you get that. So who knows what next week will be.
Do you feel like Marco Kurz might have something to do with the fact that we were able to come back so emphatically at half time, because we just look like a different team going into that second half?
100%. And when you look down at him on the touchline, just yelling and carrying on, that it's got to moment the team forward. Like, we're not coming back like that under a Moore, who's sitting down, not saying a word. We go 3-0 down with a coach who wants, doesn't even want to be there. There's not a chance in the world that performance, rears its head.
Are you concerned at all that it took a reaction tonight? Because we obviously started very, very poorly. Individuals that every week are the ones getting into the face of the younger players when they make mistakes, themselves tonight making really critical errors, just sloppy going forward, a lot of inaccurate passing. Are you concerned that it took such a reaction for us to really get into the groove tonight?
Absolutely. It's I know, you know, classic Ellis asking the tough questions when I'm trying to live in the moment, but no, you are spot on. Obviously, we know we're good enough to do it, so it's disappointing that it takes us to go a goal behind to snap us into action. So I don't know whether that's a mentality thing or an attitude thing. It's got to change if we want to get anywhere.
Melbourne City to come on the weekend. How do we sort of keep our feet on the ground, bask in the victory tonight, and then just start focusing on Melbourne City, because I feel like we can't afford to keep starting so poorly in games. Do you feel like there's a genuine chance going over there? They have just brought in Jamie McLaren, who I know through your Asian Cup experiences you're not particularly fond of, but the A-League's a different matter in itself. So they've got their own reinforcements. We started real poorly tonight, no Kennels, so is there a genuine chance going over there, and do you feel like we can, you know, we've got the experienced heads in that change room to just be able to bring ourselves together after tonight's win? Yeah,
Asian Cup aside, McLaren is proven in the A-League, and yeah, a few good signings on that side of the border. So, I mean, one side of the coin is they could have a lot of momentum. The other side of the coin is new players, new system, trying to gel. Could be ideal time to hit them. Obviously, pretty hot tonight, so as long as everyone pulls up okay, especially covering all that running when we half a game with that 10 versus 11. So, you know, I have no idea. After seeing this, it almost feels redundant trying to make any predictions.
Reese, enjoy the win tonight. Thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Cheers. Standing here with two Roar fans after a amazing experience here at Coopers Stadium. Dare say not for them, guys. Yeah.
Go United!
How do you? I mean, it's been a really difficult year for you guys. Obviously, we've seen John Aloisi get axed. We've seen a real defensive deficiency all year long. Given that the Barcelona days under Ange not too long ago now, you know how good it was back then. How do you guys feel about the current state of your club at the moment?
Oh, look, it's disappointing because, you know, we've been fans for a long time, you know, supporting them all the way through, and we've been to, I mean, it's just disappointing. But to be honest, it reminds me a lot of that Western Sydney game we played a few years ago in the semi-final. It felt exactly the same. At the moment, we're sort of at a point where every time you're up, you never think we're going to quite make it. But yeah, there's a bit of ill discipline, I think, at the back at the moment, and it just lets us down every week. So look, it can only get better from here, right? Our numbers are sticking, so can't get much worse than that, right? So
you're 3-0 up, 3-1 up at half time. We're a man down. How on earth did it go so pear-shaped for you in the end? I mean, quite honestly, this seemed like an unlosable game for you guys. What do you put it down to?
I think as James said, there's no discipline. We don't have the will to win this year. But we just lose that plot at times, and once we've lost the plot, we just don't know how to move on with the game.
We don't know how to close out. Like the Roar of old, we've lost. You know, the old days we could go behind 3 and we'd come. You know, teams would be a bit worried about us because we're just, particularly at home, more so than away. But we'd sort of fight our way back. I mean, now you get ahead. Same against Perth a few weeks ago. You know, this is just it's indicative of our season overall. I just think we can't close games out. We make stupid mistakes, seeing them kicking that ball away. I mean, okay, like it might have, you know, bit tough, but you know, whatever. Just don't do it, mate. Just leave it. Just leave the ball. You know, Jamie can't blame. Can't fault him, but. Yeah, look, the days of Barcelona and Thomas Broich and everyone else, it's
we're looking for a new coach and a new era.
Yeah, new team.
New team.
Well, just funny you mentioned that, because the article did come out just this week that Marco Kurz of Adelaide United is being headhunted by the Raw officials. I mean, where do you go from here? Is Marco Kurz, you know, a traditional disciplinarian kind of figure? Is he the best thing for you at the moment, or do you try and sort of look to gamble things by bringing someone from overseas that has no kind of track record in the A-League? Do you go and maybe look down the avenue of a Thomas Broich, a fan favourite that'll just initially at least get the spirits up? Yeah, just both of your opinions. Where do you need to look now for a manager? Because obviously, with all due respect to, is it Davies?
Darren Davies, yeah.
Yep. probably not going to get it,
no.
given the way the results have been. So yeah, you'd assume that Brisbane bring in someone new in 2019-20. Just both your opinions. Where do you look?
Yeah, look, I don't know where we look, but we need someone like Ange who'll come in. I think we need a big clean out. And Ange did the big clean out. He dropped, Tiato and whoever else was dropped at the time. The big sort of Charlie Miller,
massive overhaul.
Huge overhaul. Someone who has a vision, comes in and I think just sticks to it. I think Aloisi did a good job of working the club through some tumultuous times. No super being paid and a few other weird little things going on in the background that have been off the pitch, but I just want someone with a vision who the backeries will just support and give some money and allow to buy a new team and just sort of build up again. I don't know who that is, but if it's Kurz, it's Kurz. If it's anyone else, if it's Robbie Fowler because it's going to get some fans in the door, then maybe that's what we need too, I don't really...
Well, that was the only word I had to say, like 2 words, Robbie Fowler.
Yeah. You reckon?
Just somebody different.
Yeah.
Just out of Australia. Just a new coach, a new thinking, somebody who doesn't know the A-League. I know Robbie Fowler's been in here, but just someone who may bring incitement, he might have some passion. We'd like to hope he's an excellent football player. He has that passion and hopefully he can bring it to the Roar and get us back to our glory days. We need our glory days.
Just finally, your thoughts on the matchday experience at Coopers Stadium?
Yeah, well, we've done all the stadiums. I think we've done just about everywhere but Perth now, so this rates pretty highly. I did enjoy it. I think the atmosphere and the interplay between the crowds, that's why we go to away games. So
I think it's a great stadium. I think I'm disappointed for you fellas. I thought there should have been 10,000 or 12,000 people here. Yeah. I don't know how your season's going with crowd-wise, but as I say, if you had 10,000 to 12,000 here, it'd be a great, really, it was a great night. Yeah. But I reckon it'll be even louder. Yeah. We can hear you.
Oh yeah. We heard you. Don't worry. Yeah. I think you might have heard us a little bit too, but.
Well, all the best with Adelaide. I think they play good football. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be difficult for them. They need to get up to those top 2 or 3 spots, maybe. It might be hard for 5th or 6th. But you never know. See how you go. Yeah.
Commiserations, guys. Thanks so much for having the good grace to speak to us on Adelaide United Fan TV. And personally, I went to Suncorp a few weeks back in that Perth game, where you managed to bottle it again. But it was a fantastic experience at Suncorp, and everyone knows that for the general health of the A-League, Brisbane Roar need to be successful. So all the best to you guys, and jolly good work coming out and supporting your team on the road today.
No, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.